additions that, it's like food, right? There are people that will tell you that their food is dangerous, okay? But we still have to eat.
Oh, you have to eat.
We need information about what is going on, like this day and time, where information is just like nanoseconds and all that. So it's your choice not to get addicted to right information. We need it.
To right information. Honestly, the knowledge that we get from your show is just amazing. Like I said, I only just joined. I only just started watching your program last year, just around about the election time. Yeah, and I've the kind of insight that I've gained, and that African Wahala was saying. Now, when I have a conversation with people, you come from a position of you come with information, so that they're like, okay, you know what she's talking about, type of thing. So I really commend you for the work that you're doing.
So much.
Yeah. So Ruto, I think you played Ruto to retire. So
that's the issue in Kenya now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing what's happening in Kenya, right? But let me ask you something. You've been covering this thing for a very long time, right? And we know that the establishment is there. We know that there are other external influences, who are determined to keep Africa the way it is, because again, it serves the purpose. It serves the purpose of keeping them, rich, whilst we're being impoverished. And in the lack of education that we're getting, the illiteracy and the lack of information that we have generally in Africa allows them to carry on with what they're doing, right, without much pushback. Because again, if the people are ignorant, are not knowledgeable, right, with regards to even what the basic good governance should look like, it allows them to carry on doing what they're doing. I'll come back to Ruto. Like the people who are the northern, elite or whatever, or the people who are, out there supporting the northern elite and saying, oh yes, it looks like the north is going back into is going to come back into power and this and that and the other. It was hilarious to listen to that, because these are the people who are practically the poverty capital of the whole world, right? Because for decades, and this is decades prior to even the so-called democracy, which are like the previous caller was saying, we don't have a democracy. We have something that resembles democracy, but it's not exactly democracy, right? So that has been going on for decades, and you people are still the most impoverished section in the whole country. So what benefit is it that your so-called elites are gathering? What point? They make no difference to you. You still lack water, you still lack education, you still lack infrastructure. So you that you're gathering and saying to yourself, oh, how the northern elite, they're gathering, like power is going to come back to the north.
Yeah,
you shouldn't really want
so happy and say yes.
It's of no consequence. It's of no consequence to you as a people or as a group. You haven't benefited in any way, shape, or form. In fact, you've been impoverished even more.
Last year, Bukwari was there. 8 years. He ruined the country. He ruined northern Nigeria. And yet, a northerner, a year after, wants the power back, because it's like all these things happened to them all these 8 years. Charm. They never happened.
It never happened. And that's for me.
How could the victims of such be defending the criminals who ignored them for 8 years and saw them slaughtered?
Saw them slaughtered, and will keep on and will continue to see you slaughtered, and they are doing absolutely nothing about it. Somebody come with there's an expose about who bought the bandits. We know who brought the bandits in, right? We know who started this whole banditry in the country, right? It is still one of your own people killing your own people, right? And you are still wanting the same set of people to actually come back into power because you like death, you like hunger.
From our side, we need to have that power. They love to see, they love that convoy to show influence, power. All those time of Buhari time, yeah? Majority of them were just like, if Nigeria want to burn, let it burn, as long as Buhari remain.
As long as Buhari
used that 8 years, they were adamant. Well, here we are. The Ronuku saying, if Nigeria want to burn, let it burn. Tinubu will use 8 years. Now the two of them won't clash now. We will be the spectators.
We'll be the spectators watching. Yeah, we'll be the spectators watching both of them, and like I think Flora was saying that, like let them gather.
Yes.
In fact, I think it was one of your talks that you did maybe like last week, and you said that don't feel sorry for Kolu, feel sorry for these people, because Kolu is a confirmed criminal, and if he wants to deal with these people, he knows what to do.
Yes.
So when you said that, I was like,
what? The best is for no one of us to catch any feelings. It's going to be hard for people like us to catch feelings too, right? I'm talking to some people who still see them. Nigerians are very, very, it's unreal, okay? If you look at that video party, most of the talk is about the money, the opulence, it's about the gift, the luxury. And millions of them who came across that wedding pictures and videos, some of them actually hope that number one, some of them have told themselves that they can never have that, but they dream it.
Yeah,
the opportunity to say, maybe one day I will have that too.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame a person for dreaming. Do you understand? I think where you fall them in their so-called dream is that when you dreamed of having this money, how were you dreaming of having it? Were you dreaming of stealing it, or were you dreaming of actually legitimately getting that kind of money?
Now, that's how they are dreaming of making that money.
I don't even want to go into this whole religion business.
God can bless you. You are talking to me now. You could become a billionaire tomorrow. Even if you don't have I can you billion, right? Or you may believe me. If you are from Nigeria, you should believe me. But
I can believe you that you can get it, but the logical side of me is going to ask the question.
But you laugh because you know that to make a billion as an American yourself, right? To make a billion is not by somebody saying it to you and say you will make it.
Exactly. So that's you know what? Laughed. Even if I dream and say, oh yes, I could get a billion. The logical side of me is going to ask, how exactly is that billion supposed to land on your life? You can float your hands and doing absolutely nothing. Yes. And you know that's not going to happen. You have to actually put yourself out there. And that's what I'm saying. Look, even if you're going to dream, right? Because when you dream and you say, okay, you're going to get such and such, right? And then you say, okay, this is how I'm going to get it. Then you look around you and you look around you and see that the governance that you have is never going to allow you to do that. Then you have to do
legitimately. It's impossible.
You never exactly. You will never make it.
So how are you going to make that? Oh God!
So this
bless anybody. Shut up, please. Come on. Shut up.
Let me just quickly talk about Ruto because this whole religion and what people believe is just beyond. It just takes, and that's why a lot of people talk about religion. Religion is a separate entity. When you have a relationship with God and you actually read the Bible, there's a portion in the Bible that says my people suffer for lack of knowledge, and that is exactly where the Christians in Nigeria are. They are suffering for the lack of their knowledge because they're getting all their knowledge not from the Word of God but from their pastors who seek to manipulate them, for their own end, and that's what is going on in Nigeria. It's not necessarily the people that believe in God. These are people that have been manipulated, and they've used their fear and guilt to manipulate them into being docile and doing nothing about their situation. Because ordinarily,
God to get whatever they can.
Exactly, and for me, it's just the logic behind it. Okay, if I give God this thing, He's going to give me that thing. Then, yes. But when you start to think like that, you have to understand that that's not the God that the God in the Bible is. That's not the God that you're serving. You're serving you're actually serving Mammon. Pastors, God of your pastors or whoever that is, because that is not God. Because again, He owns everything. He doesn't need you to bribe Him to give Him something that belongs to Him.
Okay. Or 1%.
He doesn't need your 10%, to be God. He is God, whether you want it or not, whether you like it or not, or whether you give Him a dime or not. That has nothing to do with anything. Okay. So once you start to understand that, then people will start to actually fight for the things that should rightfully belong to them, which they are not doing. Right. Now, this is something I just want to throw out there because I think Julius Malema had already said something about the Ruto prior to becoming president of Kenya. The kind of things that he said, right, is so different from what they are saying right now. Has anyone ever considered that, say the establishment don't have something on you? I don't know if anyone has ever heard about MK Ultra. Have you heard about MK Ultra?
MK Ultra?
It was a CIA program, back in the day, which they used, different methods and ways to manipulate people, to program people and things like that, right? Because it doesn't make any sense, right? That somebody would speak a certain way, and then all of a sudden, after they assume power, have some interaction with these people, they now turn around and start acting differently. And not only do they act differently, they are obstinate in their actions. You can see Ruto, you can see what he's doing. Forget about what he's saying. Look at what he's doing. He's determined to break those people. He's determined to squash that rebellion. He's determined to kill people regardless of what they are saying. Exactly, all to have his way. And what way does he want to have? It's not even a way that is original to Kenyans. It's the way of IMF, the way of the West. So it has to make you wonder, is there something else going on that we're not even aware of? Do you understand? And I'm just throwing it out there just because I know that Martinelli will say our imagination won't keep person. But you have to think about it, because our leaders are not acting right. They're acting like people who are under some kind of, okay, so it's either they have something on you, so you carry on with, whatever it is they want you to do. But I say to myself, even if they have something on me, right, I'm president already, let them do their worst and I'll do my best. Do you understand? But it doesn't seem like, I'm like, what can they have on you? What is so terrible that they can have on you to the point where you are willing to kill your own people to hide whatever it is that they have on you? Now, it's either they don't have anything on you or they've used technology like MK Ultra to control you. So these are, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying that this is what has happened to me.
There are some people probably are just nodding their head like they've been thinking along that line too. And you just
because it makes me suspicious.
Why?
Exactly. It makes you suspicious that people are determined to kill their own people, not so that you will bring something good to them, but so that you can still kill them. Exactly. So that you can still kill them. When the simple thing to do is reduce the size of your government
and the government expenditures. Simple.
Exactly. Reduce the amount of money you are spending as a government, as an administration. Reduce the number of people that you have as ministers. Reduce your spending.
Corruption. Stop inflating government contracts.
Listen,
do things normally. Now that you don't have excess money to share. Or no, it's impossible. It is their turn.
Exactly. It's about but what are you even doing with all that wealth anyway? Because at the end of the day, just like somebody said, you don't take it with you. I remember watching a burial and I thought to myself, after everything this person accumulated on this earth, at the end of the day, you are lying in that coffin all by yourself and you'll be buried and put it. You don't take a dime with you, not even the clothes that they put on your back. You don't take it with you. Let me let other people call. I don't
well, right? Thank you so much. I will close the chat with this, okay? And it is from that pastor. We were talking about faith earlier, right? I played this 2 nights ago. You remember? You have a good one.
Yeah.
Somebody say you should be saying that all this your shepherd and he is using bodyguard. Sorry, and that is what religion has done to a lot of people, including our nation. When you keep on telling our people that giving will make you rich, and we have several graduates who are jobless. Giving will make you rich, and you are giving to the rich, and the Bible says you become poor. Me, conveniently, you see me using 5G by your 1, by your 2, by your 3, by your 4, and the 6th one, Mopo, Amatekun. Then the one in front, Soldier, and you are still giving to me. You are not waking up. Somebody say you should be saying that Lord is your shepherd, and he is using bodyguard. Sorry, if you know that Lord is his own shepherd, and he will walk through the valley of Sabbath, why is he using Amatekun? Why is he using Mopo? Why is he using bodyguards? Hello, conveniently, you can give him millions of dollars, and you still want your church member to be contributing for you. Something is wrong. But I won't blame them. Some of you want to buy miracle. You love. Somebody now said, if you don't pay tithe, you are not going to heaven. That is not. A pastor said recently, he said that if you see anybody that is prosperous without tithes, he will drop the Bible. We wish he dropped the Bible because we have millions. Go and Google for it. Qatar is one of the blessed countries in the world, and it's a Muslim country. They don't pay tithes, and they are well blessed. If tithe is the reason why we are going to be blessed, nobody should be poor in Nigeria because they have been paying tithe when I was inside my father's and mother's womb. Yes. How many of you relate with those aged mother? They will tie it to their wrapper and bring it to church. What is their prosperity? So people now think that salvation is synonymous to money. If God touch your heart, do for God. And not everything is for money. If you don't have money, and you are coming to church, please be excited, be happy. Don't say, I don't have money. Go out there now. You will see a lot of people don't go to church. They say, I don't have money. Most of the people say, we didn't see you in church. When you get there, they now lie. They say, we are sick. Most of them don't have offering. They are always ashamed not to drop. Majorly if a church. You know, there are some churches you have to dance out. And as they are dancing out, they are recording whether you will drop inside basket or not. You will feel frustrated. Church is not primarily to collect money. Let me tell you, the first auditorium that we can call Christian gathering was built after over 200 years that the apostle, I believe, have started preaching. Over 200 years after. But now we put burdens on people. That's why some people will never go to church that is not well completed, because they know there will be too much money in the church that is under construction. Today cement, today tiles, today wood, today pan. So that is not the reason why we gather. And let me tell you, people that are rich in the church, they now see it as if they are above somebody who is not rich. My dear, if you don't have money, be excited. It's the same God, both the poor and the rich. Salvation is what goes around. Money doesn't go around. In conclusion, please, I want to beg you, in this church, like you said, engage in business. Stop wasting economic hours in church. You know what we...
That's my new pastor now. So if I am in Nigeria and that guy get church, I will go to his church and sit down there and say, yeah, preach, pastor, preach. That is where we're going to draw the curtains this afternoon. Let me go get ready for the People's Parliament tonight. Now, People's Parliament is going to come up between 8 and 11:30 p.m. tonight. And I am saying this ahead of time, okay? If you want to be part of it, you have something you want to say, you have something you want to share, or it's about something we've discussed severally here, and your view you want the world to hear, right? And even our brothers and sisters from Kenya, if you have any of them on this platform, you could join us too. That will be tonight, okay? What do you think is currently, or let me say, what do you think this IMF, World Bank powered poverty that the African leaders are importing to Africa, what do you think is going to be the fate of Africa if nothing is done? Or do you think something will be done? Now, that's what we are going to talk about this evening. All the happenings. You should join us. Yeah, I will launch that around 7 p.m. So which means if you want to be part of it, you should plug in around that time. And I will join you too. Thanks so much for your time, okay? I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Good afternoon.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Jíjó ìgbádìyẹ
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n ní.